Want to turn your spark into a spotlight? Big moves happen in good company. And today we are going to talk about how you could join our community. Woo! And learn how to 10 times your visibility by joining our team. Introducing. Hi, Heidi.
Hey, how are you this week?
Excited because the more I join different communities, the more people I meet and the more opportunities I have. And that is why I am so excited to offer our opportunity to people, because the more people who join our community, well, the more opportunities we will all have. So I'm going to ask you the first question, Heidi. How has joining a community given you a new opportunity?
Well, there's a lot that I see, but I am an opportunity igniter, so that tends to happen sometimes. But starting off, I mean, we got a new team member last week. We met
Yes, we did.
Jeremy. So I got to go to his ribbon cutting. We talked about that a little bit. He's like, please come to my ribbon cutting. And I'm like, you know what? Like, that's what we do as a community. We support each other. We show up when important events are happening. So I'm like, yep, I'm going to go. And finally, Friday, it's one of my favorite communities that I've been a part of. I've known a lot of those people since 2018. And as a single lady in a big, huge city here all by myself in 2018, who do I get to fix my car? Who do I get to do repairs on my house? Who do I talk to about all kinds of life things that pop up? And so, one of the awesome things about being part of that community in the chamber is not having to stress, pretty much. There's just so much stress around all the time. And when we get back to talking about our book anthology project, a lot of people have talked about telling their story at some capacity. Maybe they want to write it. Maybe they're working on their courage to get in front of the video camera. You know, there's a lot of hurdles sometimes. There's a lot of questions. How do I get through this? How do I do that? And so this project just says, hey, you want to tell your story? We've got a system that's going to do that. And not only that, all of the stuff that's not talked about in the system, like sitting down and writing or, editing and these kinds of things. But like the stuff that's going on up here, when all that stuff is going on, that is really truly where, as a creative, I need the most support. And the only place I can find that is with community. What about you, Francine? What are some ways that you've benefited from being in communities?
Well, this community by itself has already taught me so much. Heidi is like my tech guru. I would never have this platform we're on right now going live. I would never ever have imagined doing it and learning how to do it myself. Heidi said, oh, we're going to do these live streams. Let's take it a step above Facebook Lives and do it on Restream. And it is such an amazing platform that my children's authors group is going to be using Restream when we have our event in December, where we're going to have a big online book fair. So be watching for that. Also, this community has Oh, hi, Stormy. Hello. This community has also helped me with mindset. I'm a mindset coach, but did you know that I'm still learning from different people? And Heidi has a different perspective on things than I do, coming from, well, being a civilian, being younger. What are you, a millennial? Or, like, well, I get confused what age groups is who, but I'm a baby boomer. So Heidi's much younger than I am. I see things from her younger point of view. And that's the beauty of a community. And now I'm using my experience as an author in the publishing world to teach Heidi how to get her story out to be seen by more people. But even better than that, Heidi took me to the film fest. What was it called again?
Oh, the Laugh Out Loud
The,
Film
the
Festival.
Laugh Out Loud Film Fest. If it wasn't for this community and knowing Heidi, I would have never met all of those funny people and seen all those funny films and seen a whole different side of creativity that I never dreamed about. And then there was,
Well, we threw axes too if we're talking about cool things we've
we
done
did,
together.
we threw axes, but I had already known, actually, I had already known Nicole at Live by the Axe, and I won an axe in a raffle as a raffle prize, but I had never thrown it. But when we went as a community, I said, well, maybe I'll try it now. And I was horrible at it, but we had fun because as a community, we got together, we threw axes and just laughed and joked and had fun. So a community isn't all about just doing projects and getting things done, but it's about learning about each other and having fun together, because when you are having fun and you are laughing, that's when pure magic happens.
You know, I was working on a journaling question this morning, and it was, do you allow joy in your life when it finds you? And I realized as I was journaling this question that I don't a lot of the time, because I think in my head, oh my gosh, I am too busy. I'm too busy. I got to get this done. I have to do this. I have to do this, this, and this, or we're going to die. That's kind of what's going on in the background of my mind. And something that I really, really appreciate about communities, and when we go out and we have a good time, it's dual purpose. First of all, it's really in tune with something that I value, connecting with other people, hearing their stories, learning more about them. But then we're doing something that releases stress. Laughter is great for the soul. It's joy finding us. And I think about how many years that I spent just at home, just denying myself that joy, working hard at something, working too many hours at my job, then being too tired, just going to watch TV or scroll on my phone. And it's really isolating. And it ends up feeling very lonely, and you feel burnt out. And one of the main reasons why we created the Believe Retreat was just to be that reminder to take a break, take some time out, use your creativity with other people, and use your stories creatively to create more impact than you ever imagined.
And that is what I love, when we come together as a group we're going to have 52 authors coming together, telling their story, making an impact. Now, my story is going to be, or my chapter is going to be about how I went from aircraft electrician in the military to children's book author. Now, Heidi's story is so different and unique. Well, maybe not unique. I know a lot of people have been through Heidi's experiences, but Heidi's story is so different. But when somebody in her community, because we have our community, then I have my children's authors community, I have my Toastmasters community, we have our Finally Friday community, and then Heidi has her musicians community. So when somebody gets our book and reads about me going from aircraft electrician to children's author, they're going to say, huh, if she could do it, why can't I? Or Heidi's story about getting out of jail and changing and improving her life. People I know in Toastmasters are going to read that. They might not have gone to jail, but they might be going through some of the same mindset issues that Heidi went through, that she overcame and developed a healthy mindset. So they could look at it, well, she started from jail. I'm already a couple steps ahead of her. Maybe I need to learn what she did to be successful. So when we get 52 authors with all these unique experiences and unique stories, everybody who buys the book because they're my friend and they want to see what my newest project, they're going to learn about you and it's going to inspire them. But what really inspires me about all of this is, say I only sell 10 books. We have 52 authors. If we all just sell 10 books, that's more than 500 people who will read our books and be inspired by some of these stories. And it is like dominoes, because once you inspire one person, they're going to say, oh, I just read this story in this book that it's exactly what you need. So now that one book is passed on to the next person. Or they're so inspired by what they read. Christmas time comes around and they buy 10 more copies to give out to everybody for Christmas. So now there's 10 more people being inspired by our stories. Now, why am I talking about only selling 510 books? Remember I said the domino effect. Those 510 books in 510 hands, read by 510 people, are going to have an effect all over the world. Because when one person reads Heidi's story and fixes their mindset, it's going to have a positive impact on their whole family, their whole community. Everybody who reads my story about becoming a children's author is going to have that positive experience of saying, she had no experience as an author and she did it. Maybe I can too. Now that will affect the whole next generation when they tell their story. This is more than just you becoming an author. This is about you telling your story and inspiring other people, which in turn will draw people to you to want to be in your community.
And you might be thinking, well, if I'm not going to be one of those best-selling authors that sells 1 million copies, what is the point of doing that? And I know over and over again you hear, you got to be the best. You got to put your best foot forward. You got to keep improving and stay motivated, and let's just keep going, getting better and better and better. And sometimes those big numbers that you want to achieve can be so intimidating that you don't walk it backwards to where you need to start in that manageable space where it's like, what about just getting 5? Because even if we walk it all the way back to 5 people read the book, the same thing Francine was saying is true. That collection of stories is going to have impact on the readers. And those stories are going to get passed on. And that is the power of stories. It's just the beginning. It doesn't all have to come at once. A lot of times it doesn't just all come at once. It just comes gradually in baby steps. So you maybe don't even notice the success that you're having. And that's just another benefit about being as part of a community and having people that want to bring you up. We do want to grow. We do want to get better, but not to the extent where we're getting burnt out and we're hustling so much that we just want to cry and we're sacrificing things. That's not what we're trying to do when we're talking about having impact. It's something so small and consistent. And then having those people around you to say, do you see how far you've come? I remember when you joined this group and this is where you were at. And now I've seen you write this amazing story. It made me cry. And a lot of times, as a creative, to hear that one person just really enjoyed what you did means all the world to keeping you going forward. Because these kind of projects take a lot of time. They take a lot of thought. They take a lot of effort. And you need that extra support.
Let me tell you a story. I met with one of my former coaches, and it was just a catch up, what you're doing now. And she was my coach when I was building my business as a holistic health coach. I'm not saying that she had no idea I was a children's author. I didn't know she knew I was a children's author, but guess what? She bought my book. She bought my Sparkle Feathers book because she wanted to see what I was doing, and she loved my book. So now think about this. How many people do you know who will drop $15 or $20 on a book just because you are in it? Okay? Then think about how many people I know who are buying books just because I wrote a chapter in it. Now, 100 people buy this book that you have never met. And now they are seeing you tell your story with a QR code going to your website, and it might just spark some interest in their mind saying, this story is amazing. I've got to look at her art. Oh, that is beautiful. I want to buy that piece. You just never know.
Yeah, I do have to say, I cannot always pick out the metalheads in a business meeting. So I love it when somebody comes up to me later and they're like, I really like your songs. What? But I don't really talk about it. But the thing is, people come to my site, they go, look, they know that I do music or whatever. They want to see what I'm doing. And so they go check it out. And that's when I get to identify who the metalheads are in the networking group. And it becomes really, really fun because I wouldn't have thought to go up to that person and be like, hey, you should listen to one of my songs. Not to mention, it's really weird to self-promote. I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't feel super comfortable about it. So whenever I just got to talk about Sarah Pace because she is like the cheerleader of everyone that she comes in contact with. We have to have her back on the show sometime soon.
I don't think she's been on yet. She hasn't been on yet.
She hasn't been on yet?
No.
Oh my goodness. We're slacking on that.
Uh-oh, the dog fight might be coming in here. But yeah, we need to have Sarah on. We do.
She is so often just standing up and being like, you know what? This person did this for me. They helped me with this and they're incredible. And if you haven't met this person and talked to them, go over there and have a conversation. I think she is doing this at least 5 times a day as she's going around and talking to other people. And you're going to meet other people like this as you get into communities. I've got different promoters from different groups that I'm in, and then sometimes it cross-pollinates because we've got, film and music and that kind of stuff starts to intermingle. And so suddenly you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I've heard of you before. And you're like, what? How did that happen? I'm just a nobody. And then you find out that one of your friends from another community was talking about you. And that's how the magic of all of this happens. The connections between people. Really, it's all in who you know to get these opportunities.
I want to share one more thing. I thought I had to sell. I thought that I had to be a salesperson and just sell my little heart out. And I've learned that I don't have to sell a thing if I build relationships. And that's what community is all about. So besides writing this book, writing a chapter in a book, we are going to be building relationships with each other. So now that we got to meet Jeremiah last week, and if you didn't see that episode, check it out. It's in the replays on YouTube and Facebook. After getting to know Jeremiah better, I now know what he does. So if somebody is looking for help with their search engine optimization, now I know to send them his way. If somebody needs help publishing a book, say they got their manuscript all done and they need the next step, now Jeremiah knows to have them talk to me. If I meet somebody who needs some mindset work, I'm going to send them Heidi's way. And that's the beauty of building relationships in a community.
So, Francine, what do you think would keep people from joining a community?
Well, I do know some people are shy. I know we put Jeremiah out of his comfort zone last week. So don't be afraid of getting out of your comfort zone and trying new things. Everything was new to you at one time. Imagine what your life would be like if you never pulled yourself up on the coffee table and learned to walk.
It's a very good point. sometimes I'm still not very good at walking.
Right? And when you were learning to walk, you fell down a few times, but you got back up and you kept trying. Imagine if the first time you fell down, you said, "Oh, I fell down. I'm never getting up again." You'll never learn to walk. If you tried to write your story before and it didn't work out, maybe you just needed a little help. And next week, I'm so excited. Next week, our editor will be coming to talk about the editing process. Your chapter doesn't have to be perfect. That's why we're hiring Terry to come and edit our chapters. I hear so many people say grammar wasn't my best subject. Oh, the English language, I speak it, but I can't write it. I don't know how to write. Okay. First off, you know how to talk. We could take dictation, write your chapter for you, send it to the editor, and she will make it sing.
It's been done before.
Yes, it has. So if you have a story to tell that you want to use to impact the world, increase your visibility in doing whatever it is that you do, come talk to us. We don't bite.
And we can open up a world of possibility for you, because maybe you're like, well, I couldn't write that much. Well, this opportunity is 1,200 words, which comes out to be about 3 pages, which isn't too terrible. It's no worse than, a couple papers you had back in college, back in the day. It's not going to be a whole book. It's not 500 pages. It's not 1,000 pages. It's like 1,000 words. And so if you're looking at time, if you're like, oh my goodness, I don't have time, this is a perspective that I want to leave you with. Imagine yourself as a healthy, spry, 80 to 90-year-old person. And you're looking back on your life. You're thinking about all the stories and everything that's happened to you. Now, think about all the time that you spent working and hustling. Was that really a good use of your time? Or could you take a little bit of time for yourself to reflect now? And is that more important? Hustle or slowing down? Think about it. Have a conversation with your older, wiser self. And if you think that, yeah, maybe I should slow down and build some more relationships with people around me, meaningful relationships, not just that I friended you on Facebook kind, but where I really know about this other person and their stories. Is that really what's more important in your life? And if so, come hang out with us.
Yes. And have a conversation. You're not making any commitment to just have a conversation, because you never know. Never, ever, ever know. We might know somebody who has exactly what it is you need.
Which is the other goal of community. Once you have that network, going back to my BizNet story at the beginning, oh, I have a hole in my roof. What am I going to do? It didn't take me long to figure it out.
Right. And my husband was going to get his, what's a good word for it? Well, he has a lack of balance. And he was getting ready to jump up on the roof and start cutting tree limbs. Well, guess what? I know somebody from networking who got up there and saved my husband's life because my husband didn't have to do it. Just small examples. But then through networking, I also found Perfect Publishing, which is going to be our publisher. And after experiencing a crooked publisher who ripped me off, I could really, really, really appreciate the benefit of being with a publisher who cares, a publisher who knows the publishing world, and a publisher who is the number one rising star of building community. And I've learned it all from him.
And building community and talking to people, that's a skill. You're maybe not going to be that great at it at the beginning. When I started going out to networking groups with lots of people in the room, I would hide in the corner with my beverage and hope someone would come to talk to me. So it took time to get comfortable with it. And so we are always here to encourage you to get outside of your comfort zone. So hopefully you join us every week or come hang out in our online community. You can kind of like enjoy the community at a safe distance that you're comfortable with, and then slowly start dipping your toe in. Maybe then you book a call with either me or Francine to find out a little bit more about what could you do, what opportunities are available to you. Just keep showing up. The magic is in keeping forward motion and action.
Yes.
So should we wrap this up, Francine?
Let's wrap it up.
All right. So if you can conceive it, you can believe it, and you can achieve it.
From the head to the heart to the hand. Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Awesome. See you guys all next week.